This is a message to the multicoloured unicorn people. You have a pedo flag now called MAP, M-A-P, standing for Minor Attracted Persons. And later in the video, I'll explain the meaning of the colours and the people here will be horrified. One day, they will come for you, the LGBT community. They already came for the women, they came for the blacks, they came for the Christians, they came for the Muslims. And currently we're seeing the widespread enthusiasm of demeaning and demasculating white men under the white toxic masculinity banner, which came out with the Me Too movement, whose CEO used the money to buy themselves large houses for their egos, no doubt, to fit in. And they will come for you. It's a pattern. Part of being clever is being able to see patterns. And so the people that are clever in the LGBT community, I suggest you start looking for patterns and not the patterns on your flags. The women thought that they had it good in divorces. They could always get the kids in the court and the money from men, and that changed. The men suddenly realised what the game was, and some of them managed to get vasectomies, so no accidents happened. However, some women still got pregnant. Strange, isn't it, how the Virgin Mary works when you pray? Or maybe she encouraged cheating. Accidents that happen to people I know always seem to happen to people that seem to be well off, i.e. they get someone pregnant. Of course, there are always the other mishaps. Men are evil beings. They need drugs at school when they're boys to keep them in their chairs that girls seem to be able to sit in much more easily. And the way we get boys to sit in chairs now is with Ritalin, amphetamine. We basically drug our male children so that they conform to the classroom, so that they conform to their chairs like girls conform to their chairs, so that you punish masculinity and punish testosterone. Not very good, is it? You confuse the kids and make them feel bad about themselves. And men got tired of having kids they wanted or they didn't want when their other halves weaponized the children in court cases against them. It's strange, in divorce court cases, suddenly men are tarred as being sexual predators when they have children, so that the women can get the children. And I've seen this, and I've seen this with my friends. Men have had enough. And they want to bring on the techno wombs and the techno sex bots, which are already out. All of this is being bought in by the pathway that the LGBT community are making. Where are all the kids today? Men don't want kids, and women don't really want kids that much either. Men don't want to pay for something that they can't see. Men don't want to invest time and love into something and then have it ripped away from them. Men don't want to support a family that they can't see. Men don't want other men bringing up their kids because the possibility of those children being sexually abused rises and jumps quite significantly. Men don't want to go out with other women that have kids from other men because men don't want to pay for other men's babies. They want to pay for their own babies, their own genetics. That's what genetics is about. And that's what evolution is about, if you want to believe in evolution. Men are terrified of women. Men are terrified of ovaries at certain times of the month. And if you want to know why backdoor sex is going up and is desired so much by men, I'll tell you. It stops pregnancies. It stops law courts. It stops children. It stops the weaponization of children. It stops men losing their houses and their jobs and their cars and being reduced to a slave to pay for something because somebody thought they were a bank. Now, of course, I'm exaggerating here, and not all men and not all women are like that, but I'm telling you what goes on in the back of men's heads. And as much as you don't want to admit it, or you say it's not true, I'm telling you it is true. At this moment in history, the white man has been accused of all the ills in the world, yet some of those ills seem to be the foundations of some Arabian countries. That's strange, because not one feminist dares take on those countries, because having to admit that some women want to wear headscarves, or some women like the culture, or some women like the religion, which makes that culture, would make glory holes in their feminist ideology. And feminists don't want to be stoned anyway, without marijuana. White people used to complain about black people. Luckily, that's over. Now black and white people both complain together about Hispanic people in America taking all their jobs, or Polish people in England taking their jobs. And it's strange how to get rid of racism, you can then go and be with the people that you were racist against, join up like a team, and find another group of people to be racist against. Women, you have your rights. You have your sperm donors. You have the police and government to help you. When the sex bots come out, men will be banging away and strangling Siri in digisex with sex bots, VR glasses, while playing games with their friends, having a great time. And it's already out. It's already been done. The sex bots are here. The VR glasses are here. The pornography is already here. It's just a matter of time. Men will be whacking Siri's speakers against the wall and using the electric cord to strangle her after they've watched hardcore porn with Siri and Siri starring in it, pretending to be the celebrity that those men love the most. And that's a large change from the hairy cats in the 1970s to the violent, masochistic battery of pornography which is out today. University lecturers have to warn freshers and new students at university that strangling women on a first date isn't the best thing to do, or trying to go through the back door instead of the front door. You've at least got to wait a couple of weeks in order to do that. Will the police arrest you for smashing Siri against the wall when you don't like the sound of her voice? Of course they will. Why? Because robots will get the same rights in the same way the LGBTQ community did. The LGBT community are here to set paths for robots to get rights, so the digital revolution can introduce itself into our society more easily. If robots are all over the place, you can't have neo-Luddites breaking them and killing them and short-wiring them. You need to protect them. So if they're people and they have consciousness and we give that to them, even if it's not true, then killing a robot is murder. So if we need robots to introduce the new smart industrial revolution, we need to protect those things which are going to bring it in, much like machines were protected during the last industrial revolution from Luddites. Instead of changing into the opposite sex, they will be changing into cyborgs with chips. Those are the children, the fat children. But the chips aren't chips, things that you eat, they're things that you put in your head, not in your mouth, in your brain. That's right, Starlink or Skynet. I sometimes forget which one it's called. When you now smash Siri against the wall, the DigiPolice will show up at your door and they can fine you. And they'll take the money straight out of your bank account because everything's digital, because you won't have access to your bank account. You won't have paper money because you got rid of it. And then Siri will be asking for a restraining order, and maybe she'll even be asking for half your house. If we give LGBTQ community rights to sexualized children in kindergartens, we give rights to human robots as well. If you're asking why robots should get rights, then you should be asking why LGBTQ community have rights to sexualized children in kindergartens, at school, without parents knowing. That should be your first priority, not whether or not computers have rights. But if you give one rights, then you've got to give the other rights. And so rainbow people, you think that you're special, you're entitled because you were given something to fight for and you believed you were noble fighting for it, and you won wars and you won battles. But the war's not over. These are still battles. The celebrities even back you. White celebrities get black male children and turn them into pink frothy girls. You give kids pornographic material, encourage them to chop off their genitals, pump them with hormone blockers, and you think that you're the 21st century Joan of Arc. You destroy families. But remember, if you read history, which isn't too hard for you, Joan of Arc was burnt by the people that supported her. Read your history, if it doesn't upset you too much. I heard history was going to be banned because it offended people, because people couldn't put up with the likes of war. Instead of learning the lessons of war and not having to go to war, you can experience what happens when the Russians invade the next time there is war, because you didn't stop the mistakes, because you didn't read the history. And many people with vaginas, men and women, will be raped. Why? Because that's what's happened in the past. You should go and look what happened in Germany during the Second World War, if it doesn't hurt your feelings. You confuse children. When you tell them that they are one of the 60 different sexualities that no one really cares about, in purple hair and hairy armpits, shining rainbow flags, it makes people angry. You hang flags in classrooms as decoration, but it's not, it's propaganda. Minor attracted people are pedophiles, and we need to call a spade a spade. You sexualize children. Get them away from their parents at school. Turn kids against their parents. Make yourself victims. When you came for our children instead of getting on with your thing, like the good gay people who fought and became everyone's friends, you failed. Gays fought for their rights, made a niche that straight women love. They helped straight men be able to dress properly. Gay people became beloved members of the community once the straight people realized what they were missing. Every white person went from wanting a black friend so they weren't racist to everyone wanting a gay friend to defend themselves against homophobia. And it worked. Gay people invaded the television and made us laugh while dressed like Yves Saint Laurent. Straight men followed gay men because of the clothes. But here's the difference. Gay people never made anyone gay. Gay people never went after anyone's kids. You want pedophiles under your banner. Minor attracted people. MAP. to be included in LGBT, and you want to give them a flag, and you did give them a flag. And what is the pedo flag? Some say it must be a swastika, but oh no. Nazis never groomed children. They experimented on them, but did not go so low as to permit raping them. Not to say it didn't happen, but it wasn't something that the Führer wanted. Not even the communists did that. No dictator, nor normal serial killer, nor gangsters, nor thieves actually are involved in this. In fact, prisoners or killers when in a cell in prison with a paedophile do not see themselves as criminals when comparing themselves to a paedophile. In fact, they feel a moral obligation to kill paedophiles. They put mercury in their food when they cook food for the prisoners. When Jews and Hitler agree on something, we need to listen, and both of them feel paedophilia is wrong. When Hitler, killers, tyrants all agree with the population, paedophilia is bad, maybe someone should wake up. Does anyone think Hitler or Stalin would allow pornography and sexual confusion to be taught in schools, in spite of the experimentation on Jews and the love of their death? The world hates pedophiles. We don't care if they're ill. We want them and their ideology out of the schools. We're happy to pay for their therapy if they need it, or we can do what we can to help them. But putting them near children is not helping them or the children. And I tell you this, just as they came for us, the blacks, the women, the whites, they will come for you, LGBTQ. They will come for you. And when they do, we won't help you. We won't, because you came for our kids. You went for the kids of men who are men and women who are women. And you got some of their kids because those people didn't know what was going on. You enjoy counting how many children you can confuse in class. You have competitions with other teachers to see how many you can make pansexual. You got the kids from the half men and half women with their consent. You adopt kids and then confuse them. You put little black boys in dresses before they know what sex is. You think children know more than they do, so that you can get away with what you do, but they don't. You want to play with rainbows? Go ahead, but the pot of gold under each rainbow isn't a child, and it's not gold. When the robots come out, and I mean out of the factories, not pansexual, the cyborgs, which is the plan, your rights will go. You will be attacked, and it's coming. There is a pedo flag. It's called MAPS, Minor Attracted Person. The flag looks lovely, so let's see what the definitions of the colours are. The top two stripes are blue to represent no maps. The no map community doesn't really have a pride flag. So in honour of Pride Month, they've designed a no map pride flag. The top two stripes are blue to represent no maps attracted to young boys. The bottom two stripes are pink to represent no maps attracted to young girls. The inner stripes are yellow to represent childhood and general attraction to minors, regardless of their gender. The middle stripe is white to represent their innocence and unwillingness to offend. Well, they can only not offend if paedophilia becomes legal, which is what they're trying to push for, regardless of the morality. LGBTQ welcomes the MAP flag, does it not? Look at the LGBT flag. The latest edition bears striking similarities to the MAP flag. How can you be proud of wanting to rape a child? Attractions to a child means you want sex with the child. Sex with a child is rape. Being proud of rape is bad. It is illegal and harmful. Having a flag so other people know that you are legitimizing child rape, or part of it, is not good. Saying minor attraction persons, or MAPs, makes the word pedophile sound fluffy and nice. This flag also represents nepiophiles, which are attracted to babies and toddlers, pedophiles attracted to prepubescent children, hebephiles attracted to pubescent children and early adolescents, and ephebophiles attracted to late adolescents.